Hello, people. You are back here with the NC Network, and we're returning with another European podcast. Double D, I'm here.
Kojo, Coach Kojo in the building. What are you saying?
Coach in the building. We're back. So, as we said, we've been doing this Euro pod here on the NC Network for well over 5 years, but it just been audio before. But we're back now with the second visual one. This is, I think, the 15th or 16th. I'm sure it's podcast 15 in regards to this season. But obviously, yes, the second visual one. So we're back. How you doing, Coach? Good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm all right. Football's been interesting across the board, so just been watching and looking at the chaos. I'm more interested. I'm more laughing at the chaos of people and their tears rather than people actually being worried about what's happening on the pitch. It's lovely. So yeah, man. I'm all right. Then. What are you saying? Are you good?
Um, well, as we said last time when we obviously were wrapping it up, like the titles in terms of Prem, but we're not going to spend too much Prem talk here. The title's wrapped up, so though obviously we've had two results since, which I'm not best pleased about. That doesn't take away the fact that the title's won, so can't complain about too much.
Fair.
Out of the
Fair.
way. Well, within football anyway, we're not going to get into outside of we're not going to get into outside of football right about now. You get what I'm saying? So last time we finished up with El Clasico in regards to the final of the Copa del Rey. This time we'll be doing another El Clasico, but in the league because Barca continue to own Real. It seems, but before that, so we could get in a bit of negativity with Barca. We're going to start off with the Champions League and the Europa League really quickly, and then we'll get into La Liga and Serie A to wrap up the podcast. Now, I think both our predictions came to the fore, didn't we? I'm sure we both went for.
In
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we went for Inter and PSG, didn't we? In the end, I said I had a sneaky feeling about Arsenal if they got the first goal, but I said no. If I have to go,
yeah,
if I have to pick one, I said that I'm going to go for PSG. But we'll
yeah,
start with the game on Tuesday, which I have to thank my niece for because to be able to even watch it live because I aborted Amazon Prime after Liverpool got knocked out of the Champions League by PSG, right? So I hopped onto one to watch the game. What another crazy game of football, a fabulous game of football. 3-3 end-to-end madness. Inter usually known for being tight at the back, and Jan Sommer has kept the most amount of clean sheets in the Champions League this season. But there's just madness in these two ties. It was like a throwback tie, which we touched on last week in terms of the first leg, but we got it again. Inter raced into a 2-0 lead. Lautaro Martinez scoring. We know he's not fully fit, but club captain put it all out for them. And then the second. Goodness me, who got the second goal?
my God, I've got a short.
It was the penalty. The penalty by
Backhand.
Kananoglu. Yeah, Kananoglu scored the penalty, right? So that was 2-0. But then Barca fought back. Brilliant volley by Eric Garcia to put it back to 2-1. Then Dani Olmo, Barella stopped tracking back. Dani Olmo made it 2-2. And then Rafinha had the effort saved and smashed the rebound in for 3-2 to Barca. You thought that was done, but up stepped Zerbi right at the death to make it 3-3 with a brilliant finish. I was going to say, can your centre back do that? But you say you support Man United, so you've seen Slabbed, even though he's had very questionable defending, you've seen Maguire do these things quite a few times.
Yeah, true.
But then
Yeah.
any group I was in, coach, I told them that Fratesi will score for Inter once he came on, and that's exactly what he did to for them to win the tie 4-3. I'm sorry, win the game 4-3 and win 7-6 on aggregate. Um, just wonderful back and forth. Even if you're not a fan of either club, you were just screaming at what you were seeing. It was just twists and turns all over the place.
Yeah, no, but that's what football should be, man. I think Thierry Henry said it perfectly. He said thank you to the clubs because he's felt like football has become very boring. It's very I don't like using the word robotic, but that's the only word I can think of right now. It's very rigid. It's too structured now. You know, you must play a certain way. If you're a wide man, you must be over here in this position. Yeah, there's too much structure. It's over structured. I understand having a base and a style and a formation that you prefer, and you know, then and letting the players go out there and execute to an extent. But there has to be expression. There has to be a bit of a freedom, and that's where the freedom has left, in my opinion, the game these days. You're not allowing these guys to go out there and do what they want to do and express themselves the way they want to and try new things. And this game was two teams with two completely different styles,
Mhm.
two different ways of thinking, two different sort of strengths that they have in terms of. I think obviously Barcelona, we know they're very technical, whereas Inter Milan have a very high physical ceiling. So you know they will try and move you around. High stamina players, people like Dimarco and uh, Dumfries, just up and down the other side. Like it's a clash of styles, but that's how it should be. You know what I mean? And we don't want to see two teams constantly trying to play the same brand of football to try and break each other down. It's boring. It's dead. So I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It was the perfect two legs for a neutral.
Yeah, yeah,
Perfect. You know, quality goals, comebacks. Um, Players not afraid to just try and dribble past 3 and 4 players and not being criticized for it, saying why do you look for a pass? Why allowing expression. It was such a great game of football, and I understand the disappointment that Barcelona would have had,
mm,
but I also appreciate the fact that they gave us one hell of a game, and I think that's what's aided them this year is that the fact that they've allowed players like Omo, like Yamal, like Rafinha to not focus on if you're on the right or on the left, you must stay near the touchline.
yeah,
You know, they are allowed to take the ball and create magic, and that is so important to the game. So yeah, I don't have a criticism for both teams. They gave us a game that I wanted to see. I don't think any defending was particularly bad. I think this is a game of if I'm going to beat you, I'm going to make sure I've beaten you. I'm getting past you. I'm doing this and that and the other, and I'm forcing faults rather than you know you just making a fault because you become complacent. What I'm doing is making you have trouble in your defense. But at least there's no shame in that because if you've beaten me as a defender, at least you've beaten me.
mm,
I haven't given you an easy way to get in. Not to contrast, but I know we're not doing Prem Talk. I don't want to go any further on it than this. But we watched this weekend Liverpool and Arsenal 2-2, and I'm not saying it wasn't a boring game, but the two headers that were scored in those games were atrocious goals for me to concede.
mm,
Robertson, who's known, I know he hasn't got an assist this year until that game, but Robertson, who's known for his wing play and whipping balls in,
mm,
whips the ball into an empty area for Gakpo by himself to head the ball in.
mm,
Arsenal's goal when they got to 2-1, a free cross, and Martinelli of all people gets a free header and just heads it away. Like that's not beating them because you've done something incredible. That's because these guys are just not focused.
yeah,
And in this game, there was a level of focus. There was a level of I really want this, and yeah, I can't speak highly enough about the two teams. So thank you, Inter Milan. Thank you, Barcelona, for what I feel was one of the best games I've seen all season, man.
mm. Some have said that they feel that Barca deserve more to go through, right?
Why?
Either way you look at I don't, because of the fact I think they fought back from 2 goals
Yeah,
in both legs, right? But a manager that thinks that his team were the best in the tournament, let alone in the tie, right, is
yeah,
Mikel Arteta, um, who he's turning into a bit of a really arrogant, complacent manager that seems to want, just like some people within the fan base, that seem to want moral victories. Remember back their moral victories existed from back when they was in the Wenger era, when they weren't winning any trophies, so they went that long period without winning trophies, it was about, but we played the best football in the Premier League and
Yeah.
all this, and like giving themselves honorary trophies for qualifying for the Champions League. All those consecutive years in a row, though there was only one final win there. So it's amazing that it seems like now that what the manager has to say seeps down to some in the fan base, not all, because there were some very good Arsenal content creators, but if they speak the real in the club, they looked at as toxic. Whether they did say you were the better team over the tie or whatever, and then you're coming in your interview saying that they said that, which Enrique denies, because as soon as they said Enrique, Arteta's name to Enrique, he immediately off because it was like he knew what was coming, right?
Yeah.
What does that give you? You never got it done on the pitch anyway. It finished PSG 2, Arsenal 1. So PSG went through 3-1 in aggregate. And don't get twisted, Arsenal, I say first 15 to 20 minutes, they started really well, I thought. Without getting the goal, they had them pinned back. They played some decent balls in. Fabulous save by Donnarumma from Odegaard. There was another opportunity Odegaard had. Well, an opening rather than an opportunity, because I felt that he should have shot, but he took another touch, and then it ended up PSG got the numbers and it ended up being a cul-de-sac and whatnot. But actually, also actually started well. PSG didn't phase them. They stuck to their game plan because they had a couple of counters after that. There was a shot by Doué, and I think Bacola had the other one, if I'm not mistaken. And they just settled in, and then Fabien Ruiz got the goal, and then from there, well, a couple of Arsenal attacks, mainly when it was 2-0 after the Hakimi goal. PSG just got it done. They just knew, and as we spoke about, they're so well coached. They won't be Inter won't be afraid of them, but they won't be afraid of Inter either. But it wasn't nearly anywhere near the 2 times we got between Inter and Barca. But PSG were able to show their class in the end to go over the line.
But you won't get that tie with Arsenal. Do you see how rigid Arsenal were in the second leg? There was hardly any movement. It was very instruction-based football. There was no, like I'm not a big fan of Martinelli, but Martinelli's strength is cutting inside. So and having maybe one of the, whether it's Mourinho or Trossard, whoever he puts in the middle, sort of drifting off just a little bit, not as far back as in the Premier League where he has flipping Declan Rice playing as number 9 rather than Trossard, because Trossard doesn't have the responsibility doesn't want the responsibility, I should say, to take the forward line. He's better when that player just comes in a little bit so he can ghost in and make those runs, and then hopefully he has end product. Sometimes he doesn't, but that's his thing. When you see him so far on the touchline, waiting for the ball to come, when his teammate needs help, he's just standing in the area, standing in the zone because he's been told that's where he should play. You're not going to get anywhere with that. And that's why I find it so cheeky to say that you were the better team over the 2 legs, you were the better team in the competition, because the evidence is a lie. You're not in the final. The best teams get to the final. When I say the best teams, people can talk about, how can, I don't know, who was it? How can Real Madrid not win their league title, but they've won the Champions League? How can you say they're the best in Europe? Well, the evidence shows that when it came to European competition against the other European sides, they did their job and they did it well. Whether you want to call it luck, whether you want to call it controversial, they won. And PSG did the same thing. PSG scored the goals to win the game. And this whole thing about you were better, in that first leg, Barcola had a shot where he should have definitely gone on target, bare minimum.
Yeah.
Gonzalo Ramos hit the
bar.
Should have easily gone on target as well.
Doué hit the post.
Doué hit the post.
Like, should have had a pen.
Exactly. Should have been. Like it wasn't as simple as you guys were just better and they got away with a 1-0 win. It wasn't one of those fights. They were better than you. And you have to accept that. You have to understand that. There's a part of me that's feeling like he's saying these things because maybe he's trying to divert the attention away from the players a little bit. But here, this is my issue with him. There's a way to do that. And the way he's talking, it's not the way to do that. You don't come and blatantly lie in front of people's faces when they've seen the evidence is not true. When your own fans can see that you've not been the best team over 2 legs, they can say that you tried well. You said it, the first 20 minutes, they were great. They had chances where they probably should have scored. Absolutely. But you didn't. And then their first meaningful attack, they hit the back of the net with Fabien Ruiz. So they got the job done. You didn't. You have to accept that. And you are not the best team in the Premier League this season. You are not the best team in Europe. You are not the best team in any of the domestic cups. You're going to have to hold that. and then come to make statements like, "Oh, if we got what was it, 80 or 90 points or whatever from the last 2 seasons, we'd be champions." Well, I'll tell you why that doesn't mean anything, because in those last 2 seasons, a team finished more points than you. So what you're
There you
saying
go.
means nothing.
There you
Like
go.
Liverpool fans can come to you and say, "Well, when we challenge
Exactly.
the
We're
league, we got 99,
putting
you
up
got 98."
95 plus points and not winning
Exactly. They got
and not winning the
you,
league.
see, you got 99, we got 98. Okay, so if we were in the I don't know the year that Man United won the treble, we would have won the league, but you weren't, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. You can say that, but it doesn't matter. So in your season, when you're there right now, challenging for the title, your job is to get the points that you need to get the title. Right now, you're still in the 60s, so you're not even close to the team that's won the title now. So I don't care about the last 2 seasons. Stop talking like that. It's nonsense. Wake the fuck up. God. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, man.
Might have to name that the pod again. But yeah, but from some we'll obviously come back to it closer to the time. But right as it stands now, who do you think's going to win the final?
I have a sneaky suspicion it'll be Inter. And this is the only reason why. Because I think going forward, Barca are a lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
But that high line that they play, I think Inter can truly exploit it if they utilize the wide men as the players to break that offside trap rather than the forwards. Let those guys gallop, play balls through, and then start to get everyone else involved after that. Because Barca's weak points for me are the fullback positions. They're not bad players, but they're not great players for me. That's just my thing. So I think if they utilize that, I'd say Inter. I think Inter needs to be smart, very smart. And they are a smart team. They're a smartly coached club. Inzaghi's incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible. So,
yeah.
I mean, even if they don't win the league this year because it's very tight, I think they've got enough to win that final. I think they've got enough. But Barcelona with that Yamal quality, Lewandowski scores, Rafinha, there's so much attacking talent. It's hard to look past them, but I think Inter just about squeezed past them. Oh, I said Barcelona. Bloody hell. I'm talking about PSG. It just hit me. But no, same thing applies. I like Nuno Mendes and I like Hakimi, but they're not the best defensively. So I think you got to use those 2 players, DiMarco and Dumfries, excellently to break through that defense and then go from there. I'm not sure about Pacho, to be quite frank with you.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just not sure about him. I need a bit more evidence. That's what I'm looking for. A bit more evidence.
Bigger sample size.
Yeah, just to say if I'm confident that he's a top defender or good defender or average or whatever. I'm not going to give him a tag yet, but he's done well so far this year. So I've got no beef with him. It's just I want to see more. But those 2 areas there, they're so good attacking wise, but defensively they are a bit of a liability. So just utilize that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Inter. I'm just gonna say this as well. It's not a need for me because he's not my player. But if Barcelona go on, actually I say if they've just beaten Real Madrid in the league, so that's pretty much a done deal. Barcelona win the league, and PSG win the Champions League. Mbappe, all the eyes on you, my friend.
Oh,
it's going to be terrible. I'm sorry, but all the eyes are going to be on you. And I don't like it, but it's just what it is. It's just what it is, man. If PSG can win the Champions League in the first year that you are out of the club, tough times.
Peak.
Yeah.
It's peak. And talking of Mbappe, let's go to La Liga. It annoys me because, though, as I said, Real Madrid have annoyed me throughout, especially the bulk of the last 15 years. They still have been my Spanish team since I've been little. Another El Clasico. We finished the last one just over a week ago with El Clasico, but this was the league game that we gave the preparation for the May 11th league game, and it finished Barcelona 4, Real Madrid 3. Which means Barca have opened up a 7-point gap now. A bit of enjambment, yeah. A bit of what's it called? What did they? What did they call the thingy, man? Ah, goodness me. The words completely left me. The not the bikes. Segway.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
oh Jesus Christ. The perfect segue. Right? Another French one. From him just talking about Mbappe because it looked like Real Madrid were going to close the gap on Barca to a point with the way they started. They went 2-0 up, a penalty after Chesney upended Mbappe, he tucked the penalty away, and they went 2-0 up. Barca with that high line, good pass with the outside of his foot by Vinicius Jr. And then Mbappe stroked it away for 2-0. And you're thinking there, you knew it wasn't over, but you're thinking, okay, Madrid, like, let's see. And then Barca just switched it up. Garcia again. Garcia should have scored in that semi-final for Inter. A second rather. Obviously, he scored the first goal, brilliant volley. But that second chance, he had the one that he shot it, and Jan Sommer made a great save, but he had all that much of the goal to that side of the goal to shoot at. You know what I mean, I know you're primarily a centre back, but you should have done the job there. But yeah, he scored again to put it back to 2-1. Then another corker from Lamine Yamal to make it 2-2, and then a brace from Rafinha put them 3-2 and then 4-2 ahead before Mbappe completed a hat trick again. That's what was that Mbappe's 38th for the season?
Yep,
So he's come there. Not really you, but I had to go at him at the start, how he started off. You could end the season with over 40 goals in all competitions and not win a single trophy.
It's crazy. It's
Crazy.
And he's broken the record. He's got the most goals in his first season.
In the debut season, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy. He's individually, he's not done bad, but that's not how people look at football now anymore. It's oh well, you haven't won the league in your first year, and PSG are going to win the Champions League. Oh, look at you! It's you. It's this. It's football's weird, man. Football is weird. It's weird, but it's a shame.
Yeah, it's a good. It's a mad one. But Barca 7 points clear now. A couple of games to go. You can't see them messing this up now, man.
It's done.
You can't.
Man. It's done. And to be honest, I still feel like even if they were to drop points, I think Real Madrid will drop more points. So it doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fabulous El Clasico though. Barca have owned them in all the games they've played, whether it be the 4-0 in the league. They've slapped them in the Super Copa. Barca. They've slapped them in the Copa del Rey final, and now they've slapped them again. I think 16 goals they've scored in the 4 games or something like that. Absolutely crazy. But they will have a new manager next season, Real Madrid, because whereas Barcelona are tying up a contract with Hansi Flick to have to extend Hansi Flick, Real Madrid, Ancelotti out, looks like he's on his way to be the Brazil manager, and then Xabi Alonso, best kept secret in it, but Xabi Alonso come in. They thought he'd take the job last summer because these same rumours were about. How much different do you think Alonso will make Real Madrid?
I'm intrigued because I've already seen a report that he wanted Zubimendi, and they said that they're not looking to sign a 6. So that's the first problem. That's the first problem because Madrid, obviously, the model is always the club buys, you coach. So that's a problem in itself. But I think he'll do okay. I won't go as far as to say I think he'll win a league title. I don't know what's going to happen with that team. They are in a huge transitional period, whether they realize it or not. You can bring in Mbappe. I know Trent's coming in the summer, but you have defenders. I mean, Militao, major injury after major injury.
Yeah, injury. Yeah.
Rudiger is not a young boy anymore. Navas, Alaba. There's so much to change in that defense alone. Then you've got Kamavinga injury. Mendy can't stay fit. Chouameni is a good player, but you don't know about his fitness sometimes as well. My thing for them is next season they need to prioritize getting Valverde back into midfield.
Yep.
All the time, and that means replacing Vasquez as well. I know Carvajal will probably come back from injury, and he's going to be he's a legend, so he probably be retired there. But unless he decides to go Saudi or something in the future, but I think they need to buy another right back to be almost like an understudy to Trent. Because
do you think? Obviously, you've just said that Zubimendi. I've got a couple of questions for you revolving around this whole thing. But do you think, including Barca as well, but do you think there is a chance that Trent might play in midfield, given the fact you just said that he wanted to get Zubimendi, but he said not looking to get a six? Because for me, they've not looked the same team, regardless of how many goals they score, since Tony Cruz retired. Do you think Trent could be that one to come into the midfield to recycle possession and then, when need be, ping those through balls through to make things easier for the front three?
It could be. That's actually not a bad shot, to be fair. Because we all assume that he's going right back, but that could not be the call. It could be something else. You're right. It could be midfield. And obviously, I think we saw it for England. He doesn't start as a midfielder for Liverpool, but when he was drifting into the middle a little bit and all that. The thing is, with someone like Trent, what you've got is the ability. I think as a youngster, he did come through as a midfielder before he went to right back. So you've got the ability of a midfielder who's been playing at right back, and he's made it his own since he's played there. If you can almost sort of retrain those midfield instincts into him, it can work. I'm not sure I'd have Trent as a 6, but I understand if the idea is that if Real Madrid are going to control games, then he's not a bad option because his passing range is crazy. He can find you from pretty much anywhere on the pitch. So so it's an option. It's an option. Ideally, in my opinion, in my mind, they keep him at right back. And then sign a DM who understands when he goes forward what your role is, what to do as a pure 6. And I think that's why they should have got Zubimendi. So for Arsenal fans who are claiming that he rejected Real Madrid, no, Madrid rejected him basically. So calm down, because there's no one right. Let's be honest, no one's rejecting Arsenal, Real Madrid for Arsenal. Come on now, man.
Bro, remember what we said? The moral victories, whether it be the manager or it be the fan base, bro. You get me?
Facts. But yeah, no, that's a good shout. And if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised based on what you just said. But I think you need to keep him right back. I think it just makes more sense to keep him right back.
And one I was going to ask you before, but because we switched over from Clasico so quickly, can Rafinha or Yamal still win the Ballon d'Or, though Barca are not going to win the Champions League?
Yes, because I don't think any of the guys in the Champions League final are, from me anyway, top Ballon d'Or nominees. Now, Ousmane Dembele has had a great 2025. I won't say the whole season.
Yeah.
In a great 2025. And for someone that wins a league title, and then maybe, if he does, wins the Champions League, PSG in the Club World Cup, aren't they?
Because we're not in it, I haven't even checked all the teams there. I just know you bait one side, Man City and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a quick look at that. But if they are part of that and they win it, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to say no. The issue is, obviously, in football, leagues like League are frowned upon, and that's where the issue is, and it's very unfortunate because I don't think it's fair to look at clubs like that, if that makes sense. But yeah, they are part of it, and they're trying to pass it off as a major competition. So if it is, he should be in with a shout. But I genuinely think it's going to Yamal this year. You asked me the question about is there anyone else, and I still can't give you an answer, bro. I still can't give you an answer.
It's crazy. A teenager could do it.
But we have these moments though. R9, Owen. How old was Owen when he won Ballon d'Or? How old was Owen when he won Ballon d'Or?
Owen was in his Owen was like 22 when he won the Ballon d'Or.
For me, that's still young though. For me, that's still
very young, but not teenager, because it was 2001. I'm sure he was born in 78, if I'm not mistaken. And he won it in 2001. It might be 79. He won it in 2001 because he was just scoring freely, and obviously we won all the cups. We were in that year, UEFA FA Cup and League Cup, in the 2001 season. So yeah, but Yamal, as we spoke briefly on the last week, I just hope it's not burnout for him. I just hope they realise that there are times that, for instance, if they win the league before the season's up, even if it's just 1 or 2 games you're resting him for, because there's 3 games left and it's a 7-point gap, just leave him on the bench. He doesn't have to play. You get what I'm saying? Like, these guys played a lot of football. He played in the Euros. You get what I'm saying? Played a lot of league games last season. To clock up 100 games before you're 18 years old is wild. And that's just for Barcelona, not to mention all the times he's played for Spain. But yeah, I'm telling you, and he's just, every time he comes to the football pitch, it's worth watching. He has the decision making of someone 6 to 8 years older than him. He's not always cut in and shoot. Sometimes he's going to play a ball in. He'll even try on his weaker right foot.
Yep.
Put a ball back post, or if he sees that the defense has retreated, then he's going to shoot. And there's always, sometimes he goes for power, sometimes he bends it. It's like, this is just an insane footballer, man.
So good.
Insane.
So good.
It's crazy. Right. So Serie A, coach. The last thing we'll cover. Inter Milan went level on points with Napoli. They played first against. They beat Torino 2-0 yesterday. Good win. Completely changed up the team.
Yep.
Right after the exploits against Boss, obviously some guys in there really needed rest, and they came through. Zalewski, I believe he pronounces on loan from Roma. They're trying to tie him up permanently. He scored a brilliant goal, cut in and then bent it into the far corner for 1-0. Josip, is it Gonzalez, the keeper, made some good saves in the Inter goal, the former Barca man. And then the second goal was scored by... It was a penalty. Asllani scored a penalty for the second goal. So as Inter played first, Inter were level on points with Napoli. And then Napoli thought they'd gone back 3 ahead because Lukaku gave them the lead, assisted by McTominay. And then Genoa pulled it back to 1-1. Own goal by Merit in goal. Then a brilliant, emphatic finish by Raspadori put Napoli 2-1 up. And they thought they were going to win it. But then a header from the centre-back, Vasquez, out jumping a couple of Napoli men, made it 2-2. And they found it really funny at the final whistle. I don't know if you saw them. Like, one of Vasquez went to like shake hands with Lukaku, and then like he looked like he was laughing in his face and whatnot. But that wasn't to be expected due to the fact of how tight Napoli have been at the back to give up the lead not once but twice. So they're still top. They've got a point lead, but Inter will draw some confidence from that because you've given players a rest and you've got a better result than what they've got.
Yeah, no, that's just the boost that Inter needed, especially when you've won the Champions League semi-final like that, and you go into a title race or back into your title race, and you get a result that's positive and a result that's negative for the opponents that you're chasing up. You can only get a good boost from that. And Napoli really need to focus now. Conte needs to draw on all of his experience because someone like McTominay, he's had a great season, but it's his first real title race. It's his first real pressure situation where he's looking to win a league title. You know what I mean? He's got characters that have won league titles before. Lukaku's won a league title before. You know, so he has got other characters that will help him along the way. But yeah, this is real, squeaky bum time, isn't it? Yeah, very tight. But for us as a neutral, it always has the excitement. That's what we want. We want to be excited. We want to enjoy the race a little bit. So a very interesting result. And they'll actually do Inter and their confidence so much good. The fact that obviously you mentioned that they had a much changed team.
Yeah.
To change the team like that and still walk away with a positive result is
away from home.
Exactly. Huge confidence boost. So, that makes you feel like you have confidence as a squad now to really go ahead and be like, all right, cool, we can do this. So very quickly, if I look at their fixtures now, Napoli have, my bad. Napoli have Parma away from home.
Yep.
And then they're at home at the end of the season to Cagliari. And then with Inter, where are you? Lovely badge over here. Inter have Lazio at home, and then they go away to Como. And the Como one, to me, is the most interesting because no one expects them to have this good a season. Finishing 10th. I say finishing, they're currently 10th. They won't finish 9th. The points gap is too big. But that mid-table finish is incredible for their first year, and they are very much troublemakers in this league this year.
Yep.
So Yeah, very interesting time in this title race. I can't wait to see. And I will put this forward as well. Como did beat Napoli this year, so it shows that they've got the ability to shock.
Yeah, to get a big result. Yeah,
Exactly. So yeah, no, look, I'm intrigued. I'm very, very intrigued. I just want to see what happens. But yeah, good title race, man.
yeah, man. It's gonna be exciting. Napoli will be kicking themselves, but Conte did. It's just bad. You watch them play and you see like obviously Gilmore's a good player we knew from Chelsea. Gilmore there, McTominay thriving, Philip Billings there on loan from Bournemouth. You just see like you could switch the Napoli game. You wouldn't be that hard pressed to think you were watching the Premier League. You get me? Like you were watching the Premier League match. You get what I'm saying? But they're doing their thing. But who do you? Obviously, I'm going to go with my Inter. But do you think Napoli are going to hold out?
Yeah, yeah. I want them to. I'm going to go with heart over head. I want them to. I think it'll be hilarious for Man United to finish 16th or 15th or whatever the hell they're going to finish at McTominay in his first year. To get the title. I think that would be hilarious. So yeah, let's go Napoli, man.
We're gonna go Napoli. Cool. So confirmed, obviously, from the other day because Leverkusen couldn't get there past their opponents. Harry Kane has that trophy now. Bayern Munich are champions. I called it before a ball was kicked. You were all in on it as well. Others were looking at the fact of the same how you get some people chatting rubbish that Ancelotti, like look at all Ancelotti's done in his career. They're like stuck on the he didn't do a great job at Everton and then he got rehired by Real Madrid, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
They were looking too much at the fact of what company did with Bayern, sorry, with Burnley, that why would Bayern want him? Even the likes of Raphael Honigstein have spoken and said that if they weren't hiring a German coach, they wanted one that spoke German. So it's one of them ones where that helped him in his play, and they knew that with the style of play that he was bringing, you knew that with better players they could do the job. I'm happy for Kane. It will change the discourse. Some of these content creators, coach, they're running out of material. Some of them said things. Some of them said things like the what's his name? Messi can't talk to Cristiano till he wins an international trophy. Messi can't talk to Maradona until he wins the World Cup. They were saying Pep can't be that great unless he wins the Champions League with Manchester City. All this about phases and whatnot, Slot's gonna win the league. There's some arguments, bro. All this thing in regards to Man United and how bad they've been, you lot could win a final and win your third trophy in 3 seasons when you lot have been poor as hell. Football heritage, innit? Somebody's got they're running out of material, bro.
What is about content creators here is content creators and a lot of football fans that are sort of like on the social media circle, but just don't want to delve into the content creation side, but almost are doing content because they're just looking to get all these little snide comments off their Twitters and all that so on and so forth, right? They're so focused on the I'm right stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you said about Messi, he hasn't won an international trophy, and then he wins it, and then there's one side telling you, oh yeah, he's the undisputed king of this and the other. You can't chat to him, no one can chat to him ever again. And then you got the other side saying, oh yeah, that's great, but he still didn't do this. What was the one like? Oh, Ronaldo tried about 100 overhead kicks before the one against Juventus, and he flopped them all. Your goat can't score an overhead kick. He scored an overhead kick, and then suddenly it's another problem. And then Bell scores one. It's like, well, it wasn't better than Bell's. You can't win. Like, your manager has won 6 out of how many games since he joined Man United. This guy's not great. But he should also go and get them to the Champions League with 10 Hearts players who were terrible and they were 14th. And when we were 14th, we're 6 points off. That is just bullshit, man. It's just nonsense, man. It's just nonsense. I ain't got time for it, man. It's all I want to be right. I want to do this. I want to shout. And if it goes their way, I told you so. And if it doesn't go their way, they'll go and backtrack, delete some content, and be like, I didn't say it like that, did I? When I said this. Like, shut up, man. Real talk. Yeah. Look, for me, it's very simple. I don't do agendas. And when I say that, I know everyone has their little biases here and there. That's natural. That's normal.
Agenda's greater than facts in this era, bro.
Boy,
yeah, us grassroots peeps knowledge were being slowly out. You get me? We're being outcasted slowly but surely.
Yeah. But no, I don't care for all of those things. And the funny one about, we're also talking about Inter Milan and we're talking about Napoli and their title race and Conte, right? The new one is when Conte, and it was a 5-second snippet. People don't like to listen to the whole thing of what someone says, right? In 5 seconds, he just within 5 seconds said, if the club being in Napoli doesn't do these things, we can't go forward. He wasn't ranting. It wasn't a Tottenham rant. And by the way, Tottenham deserved that rant because we're still here. Yes, you're in the Europa League final, but you're 17th. So you deserve that rant, by the way, because you saw it coming. You guys didn't want to hear it. And you're still complaining about the same people. So he was right. And if he wants a league title, you're going to be finishing in 17th, and he's going to be holding a trophy up in the air. And by God, if you do not win this Europa League final against us, I am going to pull up that clip again and say, told you so. That's not an agenda. That's factual. Wake up, man. But yeah, bro, you know how it's been for me, man. This is why I don't really mess with a lot of different content creators, because I can't sit there on a panel or just in a normal conversation and chat to them and hear the stuff that they're going to say, knowing that it's just going to be like you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah,
and it's not for the conversation purposes. It's just, you're just saying it to just say it.
Yep.
And it's not generally a football conversation. It's, I'm going to say this because I know it gets the little clicks.
It gets the clicks. Yeah.
It's not genuine. So, maybe I should have been a bit more controversial. Maybe then I'll be on BT or TNT telling talking nonsense about this, that, and the other, and then telling, and then going on Sky Sports and CBS and saying two completely different things about the same. Alexander Arnold. Yes, that's you, Mr. Jamie. Anyway,
big up Bayern, and they're going to back to their bullying ways, because they're trying to get, as of now, they're trying to get Tar. They've been trying to get him on a free for ages. Wirtz and Patrick Schick, all from Leverkusen. So back to the days of beating Dortmund to the title after Klopp got eased back to back onto Dortmund, beat Dortmund to the title, and then take Dortmund players. So yeah, weaken the opposition to make things easier to go back to back in the league. We'll see if we get all three of them or not. But yeah, obviously we will be talking here if any of those transfers come to the fore. So yeah, so we'll leave it there for this week.
Sorry. I think I can squeeze in 5 minutes if you can. Can we just discuss this upset, or what I think is very fake outrage about Man United and Spurs having the potential to enter the Champions League for the Europa League spot?
Bro, go ahead. Yeah, bro, go ahead, man.
Okay. So, firstly, all of you are full of shit if you're complaining about this. Okay? And let me tell you why. Right? People only have an issue with something happening when it's two teams that they hate,
that they don't like. Yeah,
this is what it is. You got. By the way, Richard Keys, brother.
I don't even listen to them, man, anymore.
But anyways, I don't listen to him either. But when I see people quoting him and stuff, my thing is, bro, have you even apologized to the woman for your sexual your nonsense comments about her when she was just doing her job because you're a horny prick? Shut up, man. Anyway, talking about it's embarrassing to football that the two teams that can finish 16th or 17th can go to, bro, this has been a rule that's been there for 9 years now. And there's not been an issue with it. I've not had an issue with it because I don't see a problem with your reward for winning the competition that's named as second tier, taking you to the first tier. I don't care if you're Man United, I don't care if you're Sevilla, I don't care if you're FC Cluj. You can be any of those teams. You could be Fiorentina, you could be Dagenham and Redbridge. If you deserve to win it, you go there to the next one because you earned it. You've earned that spot. That spot is there for a reason. That's what it's been put there for, right? Let me tell you what's unfair. Failing in the Champions League and then getting a reprieve by getting thrown into the lower competition so you can go and try and win it. Yeah? That is fucking cheeky. Yeah? That's fucking cheeky. I'll tell you that for free. And then not knowing what you're talking about. Having Arsenal fans saying, oh, yeah, well, I'd rather play PSG than Bodo Glimt. No, you wouldn't, because if you had drawn the game, you would have won. So no, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Why in this format? How can we finish in the top 8 and then go away to PSG? Go home first to PSG, go home first to Real Madrid. You know what that might be? You know why? That might be because in the round of 16, when you finished in the top 8, you were away first to PSV. So you got what you wanted. So why about how you realize what the competition is and shut up and actually use common sense here? What are we doing here?
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
You're mad, and you don't even know why you're mad. What are you mad for? We will play at home first. Yeah, because in the previous round, you were away first, like you usually do.
Do you know the ironic thing? Just before, partially, because I came back in, like, because as I said, I went with my mum somewhere. I flicked YouTube on, and they were in the middle of talking on DR Sports, and Matisse especially was just ripping apart the fact that it's you lot and Man U in the final. And I know Robbie's in. Is it Kenya or somewhere at the moment?
Kenya, yeah.
Robbie's had some words to say on it as well, in regards to saying that you lot shouldn't, because of your league positions, you shouldn't even be allowed to play in the final, etc. It's funny.
Oh,
it's
shouldn't
funny.
be.
The outrage is hilarious. And the thing is, pick your poison, especially for them. Your bitter rivals who you went toe to toe with for the Premier League under Wenger for how many years, or your neighbours who already have a richer European history than you anyway, with their 2 UEFA Cups in the 80s. So it's peak. It's peak. As I said on the Footy on Top show on Saturday, I said, remember when they were asking Gary Neville who he'd prefer to win the league out of Liverpool and Man City, and he was saying it's like asking who you'd prefer to sleep with your wife. This is what's going on. This is what's going on here. It's peak for them. All your rivals, all your classmates have either won silver already, or they're on the cusp of winning silverware. It's peak for you.
Biggest team in London. 3 London clubs in finals, but you're not one of them. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. But hey,
talking of Europa League, I think Betis could beat Chelsea. You know,
I do as well.
It's not a foregone conclusion that Chelsea are going to win that trophy.
I agree, and I think that Chelsea needs to be very careful. They've been poor this year as well. I know they are in the race for the Champions League and everything, and and in hindsight, when you look at the league table and the points accumulated, I don't think it's been a convincing league for most teams apart from the champions. Yeah. But you're not surefire. You were favourites to get to the final, but with the team that's in there, you're not surefire favourites to win it. So, see, imagine that Man United. It'll be funny if Man United win the Europa League, and in that time, Anthony wins the Conference League, and he gets 2 medals because he competed in both competitions for clubs. And then McTominay goes to win a league title as well. Oh yeah, and if I'm right, Fred plays for Fenerbahce, is it? Yeah, plays for Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce. I don't think they can catch Galatasaray. Yeah, I don't think they can catch them.
I was going to say that would be even more. But look. Just the outrage for me is just fake, man. It's so fake because football has become. I hate it if it's your club, but if it was my club, I'd be shouting from the rooftops that we've had a better year than you. This is what it's always been. When Arsenal finished 8th, but won the FA Cup, and Man United only qualified for the Champions League, they were saying that they had a better year because they collected the trophy. I don't want to hear it, my friend. You went to a Europa League final and you dropped pant for Chelsea. Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, you were there.
Good to speak, Coach. Galatasaray are 8 points ahead of Fenerbahce, and there's only 2 games left.
Job done.
So, 3 left.
Yeah, but my main concern is just beat Tottenham, and then we go from there, man. I ain't here. And final message from me: all you stupid Man United fans who can't comprehend the fact that this team is shit and it's not the manager's problem. Yeah, you need to understand it. I'm tired. I understand. Yeah, it's his job to get results, and he's not got great results so far. Yes, absolutely. Ten Hag was 14th. This team is now 16th. They're not good. They're crap. Here's the job for everybody, for you, if everyone listening and watching right now, yeah? When you finish listening to this podcast, go to the Premier League list and go through every club strikers and tell me which one that Rasmus Højlund starts for. And then you understand where the problem goes from, yeah? All right, have a good day, guys.
All right, leave Rasmus. We might have to start the coach's venting corner to end the pod. So yeah, we could go on all day, but we're going to cut it there. Keep it to a nice size digestible size. You get what I'm saying? So, Double D for another week here with NC's European Pod. I am out, people.
Coach Kojo, I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening, man. God bless you all.
Ah.